Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our today's webinar on routing fundamentals and techniques. Uh, my name is Sairam, and I'm working as a team lead DDA at GSAS Microsystems here at Bangalore. And today's session is under recording. If anyone having any questions, queries during the presentation or during the demonstration, you can put your questions in the chat. We will discuss at the end of the demonstration. Now, let us get started. Yes, today our agenda is about how we can configure the interactive routing, and we are going to discuss about the routing config resolution modes powered by different corner styles and any angle routing. And we are going to discuss about the tips and shortcuts followed by demonstration, and we have Q&A. Now let us discuss about the how we can configure the interactive routing. Interactive routing can be performed on single net, where you can able to pick the shortcut, the command from root interactive routing, or in the PC beta we will having a active bar where you can able to pick the interactive routing, which will help you to connect a single net. And if you want to route the two nets, they're configured as a differential pair. You have to pick that from the root interactive differential pair routing. And if you want to route a group of selected nets, which is highlighted in this screen here, you can see where a group of nets has been uh, trying to route at a time. If you want to route this kind of multiple nets distributed at a time, you can pick that command from root interactive multi-routing, which will be available in the PCB editor. And before we jump into the interactive routing, first we need to, set some kind of preferences. The default settings for interactive routing are configured in the PCB editor. Interactive routing page of the interactive routing page of the preferences dialog. As shown, you can see here where you can able to access this preference window. Under preferences, we have PCB editor. Under interactive routing, you can able to configure the different options. And if you refer this documentation link, you will get the more detailed information about that this options. And we are having many settings can also be changed to the interactive routing. While when the command is active, when you press tab, it will open the properties panel. When we are doing interactive routing, when you press the tab, it will open the properties panel. From here you can able to select the different routing modes and different corner styles and different via pushing options and display clearance issues. Which I'm going to showcase you with a demo how you can access all these options. Now let us discuss about the routing conflict resolution modes available inside the Altium Designer PCB editor. We have the other routing conflict resolution modes available. The first one we have is ignore obstacle, which will ignore the existing object. That means which will help you to route freely, and violations are highlighted. And the next routing conflict we have available is push obstacles. It will push the existing track, and we have to make room for the new route. This is very much I will be using while doing the routing push obstacles so that it won't disturb the anything. It will follow the design rules. If you say ignore obstacle, it will ignore everything and it will do the trace, which is not recommended. And the third one we have is work around obstacle. Attempt to find a path around the existing object. The clearance to other object is defined by applicable clearance design rule. And the next routing conflict resolution available we have is stop at the first obstacle. In this mode, the routing engine will stop at the first obstacle that gets in the way. And the next option we have here is hug and push obstacle. In this mode, the routing engine will closely follow existing objects and only push them when there is insufficient room for the track being routed. And we have a last option available in the routing conflict resolution is auto route on multiple layers. This mode applies auto router intelligence to the interactive routing, automatically selecting between pushing, walk around, or switching layers to be given the shortest overall route length. They are the different configuration available, which I'll showcase you how you can able to use this all these things with a demo. And next we are going to discuss about the corner styles and any angle routing. In RTM, we have got different corner styles. We have got where you can able to route the tracks in 45 degrees, and you can able to route the in line in 45, 90 degrees with the arc, and you can able to route the track in 90 degrees, and also you can able to do the line in 90 vertical with the arc, and we have option for any angle routing also, where you can able to select these routing corner styles while doing the routing or the shortcut which I am going to discuss during the demonstration. Now we're going to discuss about the tips and the shortcuts of the interactive router. Automatically terminated routing enables uh, automatically terminated routing enable this option to automatically drop the current net when the target pad is reached. If this option is not enabled, use the right mouse button or escape key to drop the current connection. Typically, this option is enabled. And the next option we have is automatically remove loops. Automatically remove loops. An existing route path can be redefined by simply routing a new path. Start interactive routing anywhere along the existing route path. Route the new path, returning to meet the old path where required. As soon as the new path meets the existing path, all the segments in the redundant loop are automatically removed if automatically remove loops option is enabled. This option typically also enables in the preferences. Note that certain nets may require loops such as power or ground net. For these nets, the automatic removal feature can be selectively disabled by double-clicking on the net name in the PCB panel to open the Edit Net dialog, in which removes the loop option can be turned off for only the net which loop removal is not required. And press Shift plus the shortcut while using the shift to the allow loop modes. The interactive router will remain this mode until toggled off. Existing loops will retain if the loop removal is de-enabled and dead containing loops continues to be rerouted. And routing gloss effect. As the cursor is moving towards interactive routing, the routing engine continuously attempts to find the shortest path from the last click location up to the current cursor location. How well it can be smooth the routing and reduce the number of corners is determined by the routing gloss effect. The current routing gloss effect set is displayed on the status bar. Use the Control Shift plus G shortcut to cycle between these settings. And we have one more option shortcut key available inside the Altium. But when you are routing, when you press Ctrl plus W, which will help you to display the uh, clearances so that you can able to do the routing properly by seeing these visual clearance boundaries. And we have discussed all about the routing gloss effect already. Routing gloss effect help you to fine tune the traces which are not routed properly. And this can be accessible by using the shortcut key Control Shift plus G. And we have another option available inside the Altium design. It is look ahead behavior. Look ahead behavior during interactive routing for the new currently being routed. The track segments are either the track uh, the track segments are either hatched or hollow. All hatched segments are placed with the next mouse click. The hollow segment is called the look ahead segment. Its purpose to allow designers to plan ahead, that is to consider where the next segment might be placed without needed to commit to it. The look ahead mode is toggled on or off using the shortcut key. If you see here in this image, when you enable the look ahead, this is a solid trace where commit is completed, and this hatch means is a path where if you want to place a trace, if you left click here, the trace will be placed. When look ahead mode is placed, you can see the trace will be in transparent mode, and this help you to decide to go this path or not. If you don't want to go this path, if you left click it, it will place the trace here itself. It won't be considered to place the trace itself. This will help you to decide whether to be able to route the trace in the path or not. Once we have uh, chosen to go with it, then you can disable this look ahead behavior mode by pressing single key 1, and then you can proceed doing the routing. And while doing the routing, if you press the slide key on the keyboard, which will uh, that means tilde key on the keyboard, which will help you to access the buttonal shortcuts available for the interactive routing will be displayed, which I will showcase you during the demonstration. Yes, now let us jump into the demonstration and let us see how all these features will help us in doing the routing in a better way to complete our designs faster. Okay, now I'm just jumping into the Alten Designer. Here I have opened a PCB in the PCB editor, and here you can see the few nets which are not rooted. Before we jump into the uh, discussing about the different routing configuration and different corner styles, now let us look into the settings which will be required for the interactive routing. Those settings are accessible from tools, preferences, or just right click on the empty space preferences, or just click on this gear symbol preferences. Here the preferences helpful to access the all the editor settings. If you go to the preferences under PCB editor, if you go to the interactive routing, you will be seeing the interactive routing settings. First, we have options for routing config resolution. We have enabled all the options to be available for the routing, and we have used the current option, whatever you want to use it by default, you can able to select the option from here. And the next we have interactive routing options. As we have discussed, automatically terminate routing, automatically remove loops. If you enable this option to automatically terminate routing with a left click, and if you remove the loops, if you place a new path for the trace, automatically remove the additional loops. And if you want to, allow it for BCC and the ground nets, as we told, just go to the PCB panel and double click on the net and disable this option for the those nets. And we have gloss effects. So what the gloss effect to be, used? We have given strong for the rooted net and for the neighbor, and what is the hugging style has to follow. And we have got dragging, while dragging what should be applicable, and we have got a component ready to feature which will help you when you are pushing a component which is already rooted. If you enable this option, it will automatically get the traces connected without again rerouting the same. And we have got interactive width modes. What is the width it has to pick here? Usually it is recommended to have root preferred and via size also root preferred, so that it will place the preferred width when you are doing the routing, and it will help you to place a via which is a via size preferred. And also we have option for favorite reviews. From here you can able to pick the same. Okay, like this you can able to access the routing settings from the preferences panel. Now let us see how you can able to use these different config resolutions and different routing modes inside the Altium designer. Now, as I told, to access the interactive routing, we'll to go to root for routing a single net. Go to root interactive routing, or we have active bar over here. This active bar having commands useful for the routing. If you hover the mouse on any command, it will display what it is for. Now I need to have interactive routing. The shortcut is showing Control plus W. Or if I right mouse click on this, it will expand what options available inside. Now let us pick the interactive routing here. As I want to route the single net, just click this and make sure you snap to the center of the pad and just start routing the net. Here, when you press TAB tab, it will open the properties panel from the drop down, you can able to choose the what is the width you want to use it to do the routing. And if you scroll a little bit down, if you scroll a little bit down, we have got different corner styles we have available here. We have now it is by default the 45 degrees. And you can see here what is a track angle. If you go a little bit the down of your editor window, you can see here what is the corner style it is applicable and what is the conflict resolution is applicable is being shown here. And if you have the active, you can see on the top right corner what is the track. If you here in this, say you can see the status bar. This status bar is showing the what is the current angle track and what is the current routing conflict resolution, what is the net name it is routing it is being displayed. Okay, and from here also if you want to have a 90 degrees, just pick the 90 degrees. You can able to do the 90 degrees here. And if you want to have rounded corner rounded with 45 degrees, and you can have any angle, you can able to pick any angle. And if you want to have 45 degrees rounded rectangle, you can able to pick the same. And instead of going every time to the properties panel, you can just simply access this routing corner styles with the shortcut shift plus spacebar, which is being mentioned over here. Just press shift plus spacebar to have the different corner styles, okay, as per your requirement. And now if you want to increase the radius of the angle, shift plus just press shift plus question mark, it will increase. And you press shift plus dot, it will increase the radius of the particular angle. Okay, and this is how you can able to access shift plus spacebar. You can able to access the different routing modes. Okay, and next we have here is conflict resolution. Now we have selected option called ignore obstacle. If you select the ignore obstacle, see here, now it is ignoring the obstacle. That means it won't follow any design rules, just simply routing it without considering anything. Now, if you select the next one is walk around obstacle, as we have explained, it will be seeing the path. If there is a path to go, it will go. If not, it will be doing the, see here, it will not go here. Okay, this is called walk around. And if you see the next one, push obstacle, it will push the obstacle. See here. Okay. And next one we have is hug and push. It means it will take the path, and if it necessary, then only it will be changing it. Here also, to access this conflict resolution modes, we have a shortcut available, Shift plus R. Okay, when you see here Shift plus R when you press, you can see stop at the first obstacle. You can see here somewhere in the status bar it is showing what is the thing. You can see here stop at the first obstacle. And again I press Shift plus R. See here, now it is altered on the current layer. Now Shift R. See, okay, again Shift R. Okay, walk around obstacle. Okay, Shift R. Okay, now again we have one more option. Suppose you enable this option called via pushing. If you have the push obstacle, see here, now this via is being pushed to in order to make a route for this trace. If this option is disabled, you can't able to push this via. Like this, you can have the different configuration modes available inside the RTM designer. Okay. Yes, now to summarize this, we have discussed about the different, uh, different routing configurations and different corner styles available inside the RTM designer routing editor. Okay, now let us see how we can route the multiple traces, how we can do the multi-routing with the help of the RTM designer interactive routing engine. To do the multi-routing, we have to select the multiple traces. For this, just hold control. But I want to route all this at a time. Just hold control and select the all the pads, and then go to route, and then you can able to pick the option interactive multi-routing. Just left click to select it, and then you can able to start routing the this one. Now see here, I'm not able to get the enough room to do this. If you want to decrease the space a gap between the nets, press shortcut key B. It will give some more, it will decrease the gap between the things, and it will help you to do the complete the routing like this. This is how you can able to easily do the multi-routing, where which help you to route the multiple traces at a time inside the RTM designer. Okay, this is how you can able to do the multi-routing. Now let us discuss about the next feature is the gloss. How you can able to fine tune the traces. Suppose let us say example here. Here I have the traces are of 45 degrees. Now I want to convert this to this corner to a rounded uh, uh, rounded. I want to have the some kind of fine tuning I want to do. Then what I need to do, I need to first select the traces and hit tab. It will automatically select the complete trace where and all they connected. Even in other layer, it connected automatically get selected. Just simply select the a segment of the trace and hit tab. It will automatically select the trace where and all is be connected of the same net. And then we have in Altium, the latest version, we have a gloss and retrace panel. From here, the gloss and retrace panel, you can able to select the what is the angle, what is the hugging style we require. I want hugging style rounded in the corners. No, I need a rounded hugging style. And after selecting this, let's go to root. Just say retrace selected. You can see here, I got the hugging style. The corners has rounded. Like this, we can able to use this uh, gloss affect engine to optimize the traces you have routed. Okay, now I did the changes to undo. Okay, and next uh, thing which we should like to highlight here is the display clearance boundaries. Let me delete this trace. When I am routing to, in order to get the display clearance boundaries, if you press Control plus W, it will show the what is the amount of clearance is applied to the nets, what is the amount of gap we have. In this mode, I prefer to have push obstacle. You can see it will show the display clearance boundaries like this by pressing Ctrl plus W to disable, again Ctrl plus W to enable. To press tab, it will pause, it will open the properties panel. From here also, you can able to enable the display clearance boundaries. Okay, and next shortcut key which I want to highlight is if you when we are doing the routing, if you press slide key by holding Shift plus slide uh, key on the keyboard, it will open the button shortcuts available inside the Altium Designer. See, we have discussed about the a mode, look ahead mode. If you enable this option, when you have a trace, see here, I'm just picking a trace from here. Okay, and when I had this closed here, see from here, I'm getting see only up to here only it is getting see where now we have the bend there only it is taking as a hatched line, but where now I am taking that line straight, it is coming a transparent line. That means it's not going to place any trace. It is helping us to decide whether we have enough room to place the trace or not. Once you change the path, then only it will place the solid edge. If I press left click, then only it will place the solid line like. Okay, this help you to decide the designer whether he has sufficient space to route that particular nets or not in that particular way. And to disable this, again press one key to disable the same. This is all about the today's webinar on routing fundamentals and techniques. Yes, to summarize, we have discussed about the what and all are different routing configurations available, and we have got different conflict resolutions we have discussed, and we have discussed how we can enable routing conflict and corner styles by in the shortcuts Shift plus R and Shift plus spacebar, and we have showcased how you can able to do the multi-routing of multiple nets, and we have showcased how you can able to do the glossing and retracing panel usage. And we have discussed about the shortcut acquisition by using the shortcut key shortcut tilde. And followed by we discussed about the uh, look ahead behavior. Yes, so this is